Hey everyone, welcome back to 30 Things Before 30. My name is Toya T, and today we're on number 7. Woohoo. And I thought I would switch things up, and for number 7, I would say make a response video on YouTube. There's so many different ways if you ever wanted to get on YouTube to jump into it, and I think one of the best ways is to make a response video to someone's video that you've been following for a long time, or that you have a problem with, or felt that you could add something to. For mine, I've always wanted to do one of those 20 question loc tags that I've seen, and mainly because a lot of people ask me a lot of stuff about my locks, like my friends or people, my family or people on the street, make comments about my hair, and I felt like this is a good way to answer some questions and even, say some things about my own hair, think about it. So here we go. Okay, number 1 is, do you remember the specific moment you decided where you were going to lock your hair? Where were you and how did you feel? Well, I don't think I remember the exact moment. For me, things usually, when I start noticing things a lot, that's when I usually know that I want to do something. So when I wanted to go natural from relaxing my hair, I had started to notice that there was a lot of girls around with natural hairstyles that I really loved. And every time I'd see a girl with a nice natural style, I'd be like, oh my gosh, it looks so nice. Where did you get it done? What is this style? I remember seeing somebody with, I don't know if they call them Nubian twist, or, the twist that Lauryn Hill used to have back in the day when her hair was really, really short before she had her locks. Those kind of twists. And I saw a girl when I was in college, and I was like, oh my gosh, girl, I need to know where you did that. And once I found out, I went natural. I did it without even really thinking about it. So when I did locks, when I started to lock my hair, it really was a time when I just started noticing a lot of men and women with locks, and I really loved the way they looked. I was just fascinated with them. I'd be in the club like staring at girls with locks in their hair and just thinking like, oh my goodness, it looks so great. I decided, I started locking in 2009. I think it was spring that I decided to lock my hair, and I was in Atlanta, Georgia. I was currently living in Atlanta, Georgia. So that's number 1. What method, if any, did you use to start to lock your locks? Okay. I used the palm rolling method. Tongue twister. Palm rolling method. That's how my locks are. I've never used any interlocking or free forming. That's how I started it, because that's how they did it at the salon that I used to go to, my natural hair salon in Brooklyn. How old are your locks? As I said before, I started my locks in 2009, so my locks are currently 3 years old. As of April 2013, they are 3 years old. What is the length of your longest lock and your shortest? Well, I've never actually ever measured the length of my locks, but I do know which ones are the longest and the shortest. The longest one is in the front, this buddy right here. Usually for me, my hair is usually longer in the front, so this one is definitely my longest lock. I don't know how long it goes, but it goes all the way, down to my armpit. And my shortest one would have to be in the back, like I think one of these back here. I don't know if you can see it. It's probably about like a little bit below my neck. I know it's one of the shortest. There's probably another one back there too, because I had started to notice some lint in my locks back there, and I started to pick it out, and eventually I almost combed out half the lock, and I lost a lot of length on those back locks. I'm still trying to get them to go back, and they haven't even fully locked back yet. They're still kind of loose. So that's the longest and the shortest. Number 5. Do you have any locks that are especially unique, strange, or awesome? I would say that my special lock is in the back, this lock over here, and I call it my special lock because it was the first one that actually locked. It was my first lock that I noticed that it locked first, and it was all the way in the back. Everything else was still not locking, and shortly after I had locked my hair, this was the first one to do it, and it locked really weird because it locked in the top part, and then it was this space in between that was still loose hair, and then the end of it had locked. So it was just weird, half locked, like locked, half locked, lock in the back of my hair. And now it's kind of fitting in that little spot that is still kind of loose, but I refuse to mess with it or cut it off because it is my special lock, my first real lock. So that's my special lock. Number 6, how many locks do you currently have? Is that the same number you started with? I didn't even know until I started watching some of these videos that people actually counted their locks. I have not counted my locks. I don't know how many that I do have. I have made conscious efforts to try to count them when I retwist my hair, but once I start retwisting, I just forget about the numbers and just try to get it done. So I've never done that, but I do still have the same amount of locks that I had when I started. I haven't combined any of them, and none of them have, thank God, have not broken off. So they're all the same number. Number 7, what shampoo or products do you use on your locks? I currently use Shea Moisturizer. I was using, before I colored my hair, I was using their African black soap on my hair to really clean it out really well. I was using the shampoo and the conditioner, and now that my hair is colored, I'm now using their, I think it's a moisturizing one from Shea Moisturizer. I just switched from one that was deep cleaning to one that's for drier hair, which usually comes from being color treated. I wish I remembered the name, but I probably will put it in the box below. Let's see, number 9. Do you do any regular maintenance on your locks? Yes, I do. Oh, sorry, I skipped one. Number 8. How often do you wash your locks? I actually try to wash my locks maybe every 2 weeks, because after I retwist them myself, I hate to not have that fresh retwist for too long, but I've also now gotten into the habit of not retwisting my hair that often. I think I retwist it once a month. So I usually wash it every 2 weeks, and that's usually after I retwisted it. After I wash it that first time, if, from going to the gym or whatever, I probably will wash it once a week after it's, it started to, the ends start to grow out. I mean, not the ends, the roots start to grow out. But usually I wash it every 2 weeks. Number 9, do you do any regular maintenance on your locks? Yes, I do. I mean, I retwist them myself, as I just said, once a month. I also try to do a ACV rinse, which is an apple cider vinegar rinse, to really clean out the locks and get any, excess gunk from products in it. And when I do have time, I haven't really found a salon here in Boston that I like yet, but when I lived in New York, I used to get some monthly steam treatments, which I need to really get back on that, because it's really good because it hydrates the hair. But that's one thing that used to be a part of my maintenance routine. Number 10, what are your favorite beads or decorations? I've actually not put any beads or decorations in my hair yet. I think it's really cute, but I haven't really gotten into that kind of hair decoration. 11, if your dreads had their own personal motto, what would it be? I don't know. I guess, wild and free, or sometimes when I've, washed my hair, after I've washed my hair and I haven't retwisted it after a while, I like to call it like Iron Lion Zion, because it looks like a big lion's mane, like it, the roots are all lifted up and it's just like big around my face. And I usually don't put it in a ponytail when I'm out, when my roots are not retwisted, because I don't like people seeing all that growth in there. So it just really does lift up and look like a big lion's mane. Let's see, what else? Number 12, if you could start a new set of locks, would you do anything differently? Would I do anything differently? I don't think so. Maybe I would pay more attention to what I put on my hair. As I said before, I had a bit of a lint issue in the back, so I think I probably would have made sure that I, slept with a satin bonnet or slept on satin pillows to make sure that there was no lint, and make sure I always used black towels and paid attention to what kind of products that people put in my hairstylists put in my hair, because that can cause buildup. So that was one thing I would do, but I would definitely start the same way that I did before. I'm sorry. 13. If there's anything else unique about your appearance other than your locks, tattoos, piercings, or whatever. I think I'm just unique in general, but I don't have anything that I think that is particularly like if you saw me on the streets, like, oh, that's, something that sticks out about me. I don't have any like face tattoos or anything, so let's see. Number 14, how many people do you know personally with locks? I actually know quite a few people, and I don't want to like sit there and count it out. I definitely am not alone. Of my circle of friends, I do have a couple of my close friends that do have locks, so they understand the whole thing, but not everyone is locked up, so, that's another thing. But I do know quite a few people, not necessarily in my family, but I do have a few friends that are in the lock community. Have any employers turned you down for having locks? Anyone because you're locks? I have not been turned down that I know of because I have locks, and I don't see why that would be an issue because I always keep my hair nice and neat. So, what's the weirdest question you've gotten about your locks? Dumbest, funniest, most common? The weirdest. I don't think I've heard any weird questions. I did have a weird comment that some guy said to me in the club when he was like, "Oh, you have nice locks," and I said, "Thank you," and he's like, "Yeah, it took you a long time to grow them," and I was like, "Yes, it did," and he was like, "Yeah, that means that you can't cut them because it took you so long," and I just looked at him like, "Who are you to tell me whether or not I can, cut or not cut my own hair?" But it was just a weird thing to kind of say to a stranger about the hair on their own head. So that kind of always sticks out to me, and I thought that was pretty weird and dumb. So, have you ever had a freak accident or an embarrassing moment involving your locks? No, not that I can think of. I think any embarrassment that I could recall is maybe when they're in their baby phase and they, for anybody who's had locks or knows somebody who has like new locks, it gets really fuzzy and weird, and you can't wash your hair as often because you don't want to mess up the locking pattern you want it to lock. So you go outside looking crazy. Like I remember I had several moments where it was really hard for me to go outside because I felt like my hair was just looking all kinds of crazy, and I was, thinking what did I do to myself to be, put my hair through this, and maybe I should comb them out. So that's the only thing that I can think of. Mostly my embarrassment of just seeing myself outside like, oh my gosh, girl, you look crazy. I've kind of gotten over that since they've matured. Do you have any locked role models, dreadlock role models? If so, who? I think some of my role models are some of my close friends. Like one of my close friends, Winston. He's had locks for several years. He had locks when I first met him, and I just think his locks are absolutely beautiful and like the most gorgeous locks that I've seen. And that's definitely a role model. If you're talking about female locks, I do love the fellow YouTubers of Jessica Locks. I love her locks. I love the different things that she does with them. I also love the Bronze Goddess's locks. I think her locks are absolutely gorgeous. I wish I, personally knew her because I probably would be, just fawning over her locks, which I guess would be kind of weird too. So those are some of my role models in the lock community. And what lock YouTubers could you see yourself hanging out with in real life? I just mentioned too Jessica Locks and the Bronze Goddess. I think I could definitely hang out with them and we would have a good time. I also like Shanta. I forgot what her handle is, but I love watching her videos also. And she's had 2 sets of locks, which I think is absolutely cool because I got to learn about different forms of locking through her videos and her lock experience that she shared on YouTube. And number 20, who are you going to tag? Well, I will tag anybody who's watching this who wants to make a video, who has locks. Go ahead and make yourself your own tag video. And for me, that's it. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.